So, Minecraft factions, yeah, they pretty much changed my entire life. And sit down, I'll tell you about it. A lot of things in life you think you won't or you can't do, and then you end up loving it. The second you try it, this is the greatest thing ever. I should have tried this sooner. You know, when I first discovered Minecraft, I didn't like it. I didn't want to like it, because there was another game that I had played first that was just copying that game. It was called Fortress Craft. And Fortress Craft was a train wreck. It was terrible, but little me, I was convinced it was better than Minecraft. I mean, they even used the Xbox avatars. How could it not be great? You know? But you know, one day Ethan woke me up. He was in a cold sweat. He's like, listen, bro, we gotta play Minecraft. And I was like, all right, dude, fine. I didn't say that. I said no, but then eventually I said fine. And this was the start of Minecraft factions for me. That was the first thing I ever played in Minecraft. Honestly, I thought that's basically what Minecraft was. In factions, you had the marketplace where you could sell to people and people could sell to you. You know, if you're collecting resources, you go there, you get rid of them. Maybe you get some in-game currency and then you go and you buy something else. Maybe you're trying to get some XP levels with the XP grinder. Mobs who just spawn in that baby all day. And speaking of spawn, both of these things were usually found at the spawn. They were either like gorgeous masterpieces or they were simple and they just did the job. You know, I even had a Minecraft server of my own, but I'm not going to talk about that today because some of those people might be watching, and I'm sorry that I stopped the server. I really am. I was 14, bro. Give me a break. But everything outside of the spawn, that was chaos. Absolute chaos. Just a wasteland of broken, forgotten gameplay experiences. One person's grief attempt after another, slowly creating this battlefield of interesting structures, but, you know, mostly holes and noob towers, and some not so nice things crudely resembling male body parts and some German propaganda, but we're not going to get into that. No, this is the place where friends and camaraderies were founded, but it was a dangerous place, and that's exactly why you needed to bring your friends, your boys needed to come with you, because if you left them at home, even if it wasn't on a Saturday, you would be toast. And through working together and meeting with random people, not only friends that you already knew, but just people you happen to come across, and they're like, hey, can I join your faction? And you're like, heck yeah, we could use some people around here doing some work. My friend from middle school, he's not doing anything for me. I just got lost in this huge, ever-expanding community that would eventually lead me to the countless online friendships that I hold so dear to my heart, but I'll talk about that later. Just give me a second. One of the things I remember being the most obsessed with is the PvP. Killing someone in the arena and raiding their base, it was so satisfying, dude. Taking everything, teabagging them, you mutter up in the chat, and that was it. Oh, gone. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. I have your enchanted armor now, and I'm gonna use it to kill you again. Okay, you try something, I'll kill you a second time. But that was just in the PvP arenas. There was also, out in the wasteland, you had your bases. And if you played Minecraft factions for more than a week, then you know the typical Minecraft dirt hut or castle walls will absolutely do nothing to protect you. Everyone, of course, you know, they had their own areas. You can claim a piece of the world, and it will be protected from people. They can't just go in and start mining through your walls and everything. The idea was that once you kill somebody enough times, your factions would lose power level, and then once it hits a certain point, anybody can just start breaking your stuff, going, take all your things, boom, you suck, you died like 30 times, your stuff's mine now, bye-bye. But what you're not thinking about is, what about the TNT cannons? What about the ender pearls? Hello, buddy? They're just gonna jump over your wall, bro. Your wall isn't doing anything if it doesn't have a roof on it. And you gotta think obsidian. I'm talking about an obsidian box. There has to be no way in and no way out of this thing. No one's gonna throw an ender pearl through that baby, and what do? You cover the obsidian in water, and it protects from any TNT projectiles. You're probably wondering, well, Sketch, how will I raid people if they don't come out and fight? If they have obsidian? Well, the simple answer is you can't fight them. They're not gonna come out, and you're not gonna go in, and that's how the game was mostly played for people who were professionals. There's the professional faction, and then there is the novice faction who lives with a castle, and people just climb up their wall with ladders or dirt or something. They die in like 2 days. Scratch that. at an hour. They have 1 hour to survive. This is what I like to call TP checkmate. After a faction player has gotten to this point where they got water over the obsidian, there's no way in, no way out of their base, the only way you can raid their base is to trick them into teleporting you inside. And you're probably wondering, how are you gonna even do that? Who would purposefully teleport an enemy into their base? Nobody would do that. But the way the teleport function would work is that when someone asks you to teleport, you have to say /TP accept. However, if you know that somebody is trying to teleport to the person that you want to raid, and if you send your target a request before they can type /TP accept, you will be teleported instead of the intended person. And this happened all the time. It happened all the time. And once one person was in, it was a wildfire. Immediately, without hesitation, the person attempting to raid you would teleport all their friends into the same base, instantaneously double teaming, even triple teaming you. And once you respawn at your bed, it's a matter of seconds before they break your bed, so you're sent back to spawn and everything you had was gone and you log off for a couple days. But when you come back, you start to notice something. The people who just raided you were also raided. They were raided by another guy, and we'll call this guy the donor. That's right. You see, Minecraft servers had to stay afloat somehow. Mojang, initially, they never provided any type of servers for people to play, so this was completely player funded. This is just people coming together. They're like, hey, we're gonna make something. Donate if you want, please. I need to keep my lights on. That was it. So what server owners would do is they would provide special packages for people. If you spent $10, you get a set of enchanted armor. If you spent $100, you could fly, and if you donate $500, you get admin commands. You can kill whoever you want, and you're nearly invincible. That's how it was. These packages just got crazier and crazier because they were just like, dude, you can donate however much money you want. I'm not gonna tell you to not give me money. I'll just, what do you want? What do you want? So these packages, they got carried away. The donors became the top dogs of these faction servers, and nobody could compete with them. Absolutely no one. So what happens now? You have all these overpowered nerds who would cry to the admins when they died, complaining about all the money I spent on your server. I spent so much money because I insisted that I give you $600. And they'd get their stuff back right away just because they had spent a lot of money on the server in the past. And there was nothing saying they couldn't just complain. They just complained and they got whatever they wanted. So how do you compete with people who are invincible? Well, cheats, of course. X-ray, baby. Why spend hours searching aimlessly for diamonds when you can just look through walls and dig right to them? Server rules always said there was a permanent ban offense for these exploits, but they were always client-side, so the server had no way of knowing people used them. The only way you could get caught is if somebody brought you to like server court and they're like, yeah, I saw this guy, his mining patterns, they don't make any sense. How do you know what my mining patterns are, bro? Like, you're stupid. It was improvable. And yes, I personally did this all the time. I did what I had to do to compete with the donors. A free exploit that just lets you see diamonds? Of course you're gonna do that. That's easy. You hit one button, boom, everything is literally invisible now. There were other exploits too, like auto clickers and things like that, but you know, I was never interested in those things. I just wanted those diamond boys, those big, fat, chunky diamonds. But even with all these extra diamonds, it still wasn't enough to defeat the donors. Something had to be done. I was in a server, and it got so bad that every faction in the game was working together, all to defeat this one donor. I remember the battle like it was yesterday. He was flying around. We had arrows at the ready, flying all over the place. Ender pearls. We're trying to get up on high ledges so that we could try to swing at his feet. He's flying around. We're jumping off the side of cliffs trying to get on top of him. We had the enchanted armor. We had knockback on the swords, which probably didn't help that well because, you know, he was flying around, but it was cool because there was a lot of us. And we killed him that day. And oh, he cried. He cried to those admins. He said, I want my stuff back. I want my stuff back. The next day I logged on and my base was ruined. One of the lower level randoms in my faction must have accidentally accepted a TP invite. At this time, the server owner and I were pretty close because nobody liked the donor. He even hated the donor, but he felt bad because the donor already gave him like $400. So what is he gonna say? No? No, he's not gonna say no. He's gonna give him whatever he wants. The owner built my faction a brand new base. It was 3 times the size, and that's an understatement. It was probably like 5 or 6 even. I don't know. Obsidian, the whole shebang, you know, there's covered in water in the middle of nowhere. Nobody was going to ever find this base. He gave us all of our stuff back and more than we could have ever asked for or bought with money. The guy just gave it to us because he liked us. Genuinely. 3 days later, I stopped playing Minecraft Factions forever, I think. That was the last time. It just wasn't fun anymore. Like, having what the donor had, I don't know. I didn't find joy in the game. Like, I beat it at that point, right? You have all the things that the money could buy. So it's like, what am I going to work towards? No one would ever get in my base again. I knew that. And that was the reason why I was upset, obviously, because the donor guy who just paid to win raided me. But what was the point? What's the point of this video? I don't even know. But during all this happening, I met so many people. Shane, Noah, Matt, and John, just to name a few. And Matthew Salzman. I remember his last name. Sorry to dox you, bro. I don't know what you're doing now. This is the man who told me I should start making Minecraft animations. And a lot like the act of playing Minecraft, I said, no, I don't like that. Nothing will ever come of that. But one day, I had enough. He'd been bugging me forever. I said, okay, Matt, I'll do it. I'll make the Minecraft animations with you. After 2 weeks, he stopped, and I just kept going with it because I liked it. After animating started, I met Sub and my buddy Rift, and I started making gameplay videos. Something, and then the pals, and now I'm here. And it's all because I played a game with some kids I didn't know. And that's crazy to me.